Welcome to the 2020 King County and Seattle General Election Video Voters Guide. Your chance to hear directly from the participants appearing on the November 3rd ballot. This is a vote-by-mail election. King County elections will mail ballots to all registered voters. All ballots must be mailed or placed in a King County drop box on or before November 3rd. Appearing on this guide will be King County Charter Amendments 1 through 7, King County Proposition 1, Harborview Hospital, candidates for Judge of King County Superior Court, positions 13 and 30, and Seattle Proposition 1, Transit and Transportation. Each statement in the Video Voters Guide is up to 2 minutes long and unedited. The speakers appear on your screen in the order they will appear on your ballot. King County Charter Amendment Number 1, Inquests. Currently, the charter requires an inquest for any death involving a member of a law enforcement agency when that death occurs in the performance of the law enforcement member's official duties. The charter does not require the county to provide an attorney for the deceased person's family at the inquest. If adopted, Charter Amendment Number 1 would amend Section 895 of the King County Charter in 2 ways. 1. To clarify that an inquest is required when a member of a law enforcement agency's action, decision, or possible failure to offer appropriate care might have contributed to an individual's death. And 2. To provide an attorney at the county's expense to represent the deceased person's family in the inquest proceeding. The family would have the option to accept or decline representation by that attorney. King County Charter Amendment Number 2, Disposition of Real Property for Affordable Housing. Currently, the charter does not allow certain metropolitan functions of the county to transfer, lease, or sell real property for less than fair market value when the property will be used for affordable housing. State law and county code do allow the county to convey other county property for less than fair market value if the property is to be used for affordable housing. If adopted, Charter Amendment Number 2 would allow the county to transfer, lease, or sell real property for less than fair market value when the property will be used for affordable housing.
Hello and greetings, King County voters. My name is Patience Malava, and I am the Director of Government Relations and Policy at the Housing Development Consortium of Seattle-King County. In 2019, the county's Regional Affordable Housing Task Force reported we need an additional 244,000 housing units by 2040 to meet our region's needs. The task force report also called for expanding coordinated efforts to identify, acquire, and develop property for affordable housing. Making government-owned surplus property available at an affordable price will encourage efforts across multiple county agencies and help achieve the housing goal. King County owns a significant amount of surplus property. The state legislature recently changed state law so these properties can be made available at a lower price for affordable housing. Old language in the county charter is now inconsistent with the amended state law and requires sale at higher prices. The change proposed by this amendment will allow the sale of surplus property at a lower price when it is to be used for affordable housing. This simple modification makes the county charter consistent with revised state law. Thank you for voting to amend the county charter and making it easier to build affordable housing on surplus county property.
King County Charter Amendment Number 3, References to Citizens. Charter Amendment Number 3 would replace the word citizen in the preamble in sections 260 and 800 of the Charter. The preamble lists the purposes for the Charter. If Charter Amendment Number 3 is adopted, Effective citizen participation would be changed to effective public participation. Section 260 concerns the Office of Citizen Complaints. If adopted, Charter Amendment Number 3 would change this to the Office of Public Complaints and change the reference to complaints by a citizen of the county to a member of the public. Section 800 concerns charter review and amendment. If adopted, Charter Amendment Number 3 would change the reference for appointments to the Charter Review Commission from citizens to residents and change Citizen Commission to Resident Commission. King County Charter Amendment Number 4, Office of Law Enforcement Oversight, Subpoena Authority. Currently, the County Code authorizes the Office of Law Enforcement Oversight to subpoena witnesses, documents, and other evidence related to investigations and reviews of county law enforcement officers. The subpoena power can be amended or removed by the County Council. If adopted, Charter Amendment Number 4, the Office of Law Enforcement Oversight subpoena power, would be added to the Charter. Changes to the subpoena power could only be made by a majority of county voters. The amendment would also give any subpoenaed witness the right to be represented by an attorney. King County Charter Amendment Number 5, making the King County Sheriff an appointed position. In 1996, county voters amended the charter to make the King County Sheriff an elected position. The sheriff is responsible for bargaining with represented employees in the County Department of Public Safety on all matters except for compensation and benefits, which are negotiated by the county executive. If adopted, Charter Amendment Number 5 would return the office of sheriff to an appointed position. The county executive would appoint, and the county council would confirm the sheriff. The executive and the council would be required to consider stakeholder input during the selection, appointment, and confirmation process, and all bargaining responsibilities would be placed with the county executive.
Hello, I'm Pastor Anya Hellman, and I'm frustrated. George Floyd's death made obvious the need for real police reform, not just in Minnesota or halfway around the country, but here in King County. But how do we enact real reform when our sheriff's office is beholden to special interest groups like the Police Guild? Reform is nearly impossible when the sheriff is controlled by electoral maneuvering dominated by special interest groups. A vote in favor of King County Charter Amendment Number 5 would allow our sheriff to once again not be a politician, not be influenced by special interests. That's why the Charter Review Commission, a volunteer panel of civic leaders representing many different viewpoints, overwhelmingly recommends returning to an appointed sheriff. An appointed sheriff would be hired and approved by the county council based off of professional qualifications. History shows an appointment process leads to better qualified sheriffs. Bellevue, Renton, and Kent, among others, hire from a nationwide pool of candidates. This is a proven system that has brought accountability to cities in our county for decades. An elected sheriff limits the candidate pool to local deputies seeking to launch their political careers. I am convinced now is the time for change. This is our chance for reform. Vote yes on King County Charter Amendment 5. We deserve a professional, transparent, accountable sheriff's department. Vote yes.
I'm Captain Stan Seo, asking you to vote no on Charter Amendment 5. This amendment would take away your right to elect the sheriff. If this passes, it would be very dangerous for the public because it would give the politically motivated county council total authority over the sheriff's office. There is not a single appointed sheriff in this state. Every single county in the state of Washington elects its own sheriff. Charter Amendment 5 would take away our right to vote and give politicians the power to handpick a sheriff who will do what the council wants. An elected, nonpartisan sheriff protects our system of checks and balances by acting as a counterweight to the county executive and the council. Currently, the executive and county council have the important and powerful budget oversight of the sheriff's office. If the executive and council are given the authority to appoint a sheriff as well, the office would be totally controlled by politicians with no background or expertise in law enforcement. The sheriff's office serves over 2.1 million residents of King County, even more beyond the county borders, with search and rescue missions. There is no justification for 9 politically motivated politicians taking away the rights of over 2 million residents to elect their sheriff. Currently, if an elected, nonpartisan sheriff fails to serve the community's interests, voters can remove that sheriff from office through the democratic process of voting. There is no greater accountability than the sheriff to be elected by the people they serve. An appointed sheriff would answer to politicians, not the people. I urge you to vote no on Charter Amendment 5.
King County Charter Amendment Number 6, Structure and Duties of the Department of Public Safety. In 1996, the voters of King County amended the charter to remove the county council's authority to abolish the Department of Public Safety, combine the department with other offices, and decrease the department's duties. Under the current charter, the elected sheriff is responsible for bargaining with represented employees in the Department of Public Safety on all matters except for compensation and benefits, which are negotiated by the county executive. If Charter Amendment Number 6 is adopted, the sheriff's duties would be specified by ordinance and adopted by the county council. The amendment would also return to the council the authority to combine the Department of Public Safety with other county departments or offices, and the authority to decrease the department's duties. The Department of Public Safety could not be abolished under Charter Amendment Number 6. In addition, all bargaining responsibilities would be placed with the county executive.
Hi, I'm Captain Stan Sale, asking you to vote no on King County Charter Amendment 6. As a longtime resident and voter, Amendment 6 gives a few politicians the power to fundamentally change our nonpartisan sheriff's office and allows a politically motivated county council to defund or dismantle the office. The King County Sheriff's Office serves cities, rural and unincorporated areas, and protects public transit. They lead the region's response to human trafficking, help homeless citizens get much-needed assistance, and find and rescue missing persons. We also respond to 911 calls and serve protection orders in domestic violence cases. These are the essential services that people need, yet would be hurt the most as a result of defunding the sheriff's office. Our sheriff and deputies often help people in the worst day of their lives. They need increased support and funding, not less. To fight systematic inequalities, they prioritize de-escalation training, and every officer takes mandatory implicit bias training. For transparency and accountability, all internal investigations reports on use of force incidents are published online. Amendment 6 puts these first-in-the-nation reforms at risk by giving politicians the power to defund them. This effort to defund or dismantle the King County Sheriff's Office is an overreaction to real concerns people have about the role of law enforcement in our community. Putting public safety at risk is unacceptable and exactly what this charter amendment will lead to. Ask yourself, would my family and neighborhood be safer if we give this power to politically motivated politicians? I know the answer, and I'm voting no. You cannot improve public safety by defunding it. I urge you to vote no on Charter Amendment 6.
King County Charter Amendment Number 7, Prohibiting Discrimination on the Basis of Family Caregiver, Military, or Veteran Status. Currently, the Charter prohibits discrimination in employment and contracting with non-governmental organizations based on sex, race, color, national origin, religious affiliation, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, and age, except by minimum age and retirement provisions. If adopted, Charter Amendment Number 7 would also prohibit discrimination based on 1. Status as a family caregiver, 2. Military status, and 3. Status as a veteran who was honorably discharged or who was discharged solely as a result of the person's sexual orientation or gender identity or expression.
Hi, my name is Ed, and I'm a caregiver in King County speaking in support of Charter Amendment 7, requesting that King County Charter be amended to prohibit the county from discriminating against certain vulnerable groups in county hiring and contracting. These groups include workers with family caregiving responsibilities, honorably discharged veterans, and those who face discrimination based on their LGBTQ status. We are disproportionately Black, Indigenous, people of color, and immigrants. We are all your neighbors, many of us struggling with the challenges of caring for an elderly relative or a child with special needs. All of us are facing the limitations brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. We are the financial backbone of working families, and historically, we've borne the brunt of wage discrimination and job loss. We urge a yes vote on this needed change to the county charter. The time is now to outlaw discrimination against working families and veterans in King County.
All voters in King County can vote on the King County Charter Amendments. Next, King County Proposition Number 1, Harborview Medical Center Health and Safety Improvement Bonds. If approved by the voters, King County Proposition 1 would authorize the county to issue up to $1,740 million of general obligation bonds to provide funds for public health, safety, and seismic improvements to Harborview Medical Center facilities. The bonds would last no longer than 20 years and would be paid for through annual property taxes, unless paid from other sources. The annual property taxes per household necessary to repay the bonds will depend upon interest rates, the timing of the issues, and amount of the bonds issued, and changes in property values. In addition to seismic improvements, renovation, and new construction, the bonds would cover increased capacity for substance abuse disorder and mental health treatment. All voters in King County can vote on King County Proposition Number 1.
Just about all of us in King County have had a family member, friend, or their own life touched by caregivers like me at Harborview Medical Center. Operated by UW Medicine, Harborview is the state's only Level 1 adult and pediatric trauma and burn center. This bond improves safety for patients and for caregivers like me. It expands behavioral health programs. It reflects Harborview's commitment to provide care for vulnerable populations, and it funds critical seismic upgrades. Harborview is at the center of medical crises, whether a global pandemic, mass casualty event, or natural disaster. Increasing flexible bed capacity, modernizing infection control, expanding emergency services, and stabilizing existing buildings are essential. The bond expands psychiatric and behavioral health services in a new facility, including respite beds for substance dependence recovery, a lower cost, effective alternative to emergency care. These investments will not only serve already vulnerable populations, but also help all individuals receive treatment to prevent a crisis. This bond will create over 7,700 family wage jobs and is broadly supported, including by SEIU, Healthcare 1199 Northwest, care providers and nurses, the MLK County Labor Council, Building and Construction Trades, King County Executive Constantine, and all 9 county council members, Democrats, businesses, and more.
Coming up next, candidates for King County Superior Court. King County Superior Court. King County Superior Court judges resolve cases filed in King County Superior Court. It is the largest of 29 Superior Court districts in Washington. The court handles felony criminal cases, civil cases involving more than $300, family law cases, probate and guardianship cases, juvenile offender and dependency cases, mental illness and involuntary commitment cases. Superior Court judges are elected to 4-year terms.
I am Hillary Madsen. I'm running for King County Superior Court, position 13. I'm an experienced lawyer trained as a pro tem judge, a working mom of 3 children, and a former union member. I will combine common sense and broad legal experience in my judgments to ensure a fair legal system for everyone. I have broad legal experience. I've represented diverse clients, including foster children, immigrants, people who are incarcerated, crime victims, and businesses. I have taught classes to lawyers and authored educational materials for judges. I've worked in big firms, small firms, government, and nonprofit. I've represented clients in trials, appeals, and the state legislature. I am committed to community. I have fought to strengthen our juvenile record sealing laws, to challenge the use of solitary confinement against kids, and to investigate abuse against immigrants in detention. Working with judges, public defenders, prosecutors, child and immigrant rights advocates, I will bring a big picture view to solve complex problems facing our legal system. I believe everyone deserves justice. I've been honored with endorsements by former Governor Christine Gregoire, Lieutenant Governor Cyrus Habib, County Executive Dow Constantine, Washington Supreme Court Chief Justice Deborah Stevens, and the incumbent Judge Teresa Doyle. I'm highly rated by lawyer associations. I'm also endorsed by over 100 elected officials and judges, Democrats, Republicans, and unions. I'm the best candidate to bring reform, and I'm committed to seeing and hearing marginalized people. I have the broad legal experience the King County Superior Court needs. I have the right experience for right now, and I'd be honored to have your vote.
I'm Andrea Robertson, and I'm running for an open seat on the King County Superior Court. This is a nonpartisan position, and I'm the only candidate in this race running a truly judicial campaign rather than a political one. Being a judge in our Superior Court requires significant trial experience, and I'm the only candidate with this background. I've spent 22 years in court, representing over 1,500 individual clients in times of crisis. I've been sole counsel in over 50 jury trials, I've argued at all levels of our state courts, and I'm a part-time instructor of advanced trial advocacy at the University of Washington School of Law. Over 75 trial court judges and hundreds of attorneys who try cases in our courts have endorsed my work in the courtroom. They are not politicians. Instead, they know that I have the skill, the experience, and the compassion it takes to serve our community on this important court. I am also the only candidate in this race to have received the highest possible judicial rating of exceptionally well qualified to fill this role, and 5 independent bar associations have given me this top rating: Washington Women Lawyers, the Veterans Bar, Q Law, the Latino Bar Association, and the Cardozo Society. I've worked in public and private defense, criminal and civil matters, and I know firsthand how our court system can improve. In the short run, I'll be ready to go to work on day one, helping my fellow judges deal with the unprecedented backlog of trials due to the pandemic. And in the long run, our system must address inequities which disproportionately impact marginalized populations. Access to justice is something I have fought for my entire career, and I'm now prepared to bring that passion to the bench. During this critical time, we must elect nonpartisan, compassionate, experienced judges. I'm Andrea Robertson. You can read more at andreaforjudge.com.
Hi, I'm Doug North. As your elected official, I have faithfully served the people of King County for 20 years as a Superior Court judge. I'm proud to be endorsed by over 110 current and former judges from the state Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, and trial courts throughout Washington state, as well as 6 Democratic district organizations and the Protect 17 labor union. I've also been rated exceptionally well qualified and well qualified by 6 bar associations. The pandemic has caused an enormous backlog of court cases, and the court system is rapidly adapting to this. We've set up Zoom trials and seen an astounding increase in jury participation, allowing for a more diverse representation of King County residents. I am the only candidate in this race that has 20 years of experience handling complex legal issues such as serious criminal cases, family law matters, and large civil actions. The people of King County cannot afford to have an inexperienced judge handling this backlog of cases and learning on the job. As a lifelong Washington State resident, I raised 2 children with my wife, Lori. Over the last 35 years, I have actively fought to protect the environment while enjoying hiking, biking, and river rafting. Before I was elected to the court in 2000, I spent 23 years representing ordinary people in court. I fought and won for the mom not awarded enough child support for her and her kids, for the unemployed worker denied unemployment insurance, and the homeowners who fought a private power company against the arbitrary condemnation of their land. I am the only candidate in this race that has fought for individual clients and upheld their rights in court. There's much at stake in this upcoming election. Please visit my website at judgedougnorth.com for more information, and please vote for the only candidate that has the experience and qualifications the people of King County deserve. Thank you.
My name is Carolyn Ladd, and I'm running for King County Superior Court Department 30. I'm running to bring a new and more inclusive voice to the court. I've been rated exceptionally well qualified by 2 independent bar associations. I serve as a pro tem judge on the Seattle Municipal Court, and I have attended the Judicial Academy at the National Judicial College. I've been endorsed by 9 Democratic legislative districts and by Senator Bob Hasegawa of the 11th, Senator Joe Wynn of the 34th, Senator Rebecca Saldana of the 37th, and Senator Mona Das of the 47th. I'm honored that 2 sitting Washington Supreme Court justices have endorsed me, Mary Yu, who is the first openly LGBTQ justice, and Helen Whitener, who is the first African-American woman justice. The Washington State chapter of the National Women's Political Caucus, a group founded by Gloria Steinem, Shirley Chisholm, and other feminists in 1971, has endorsed me. I'm passionate about gender equity and serve as a vice president of Washington Women Lawyers. Less than a third of judges nationwide are women, and I think to have a more just and equitable justice system, we need more women judges. The public needs to have confidence in the judiciary, especially communities of color. A fair and impartial judiciary is important now more than ever. I believe in the rule of law, that the law applies equally to everyone. I'm Carolyn Ladd. I am running for King County Superior Court Department 30, and I am asking for your vote.
You have just seen the video statement submitted by candidates running for King County Superior Court Judge positions 13 and 30. Superior Court judges are elected to a 4-year term, and the position is nonpartisan. All voters in King County are eligible to vote in these races. Next up, Seattle Proposition 1. The following issue will appear only on the ballot of voters registered in the city of Seattle. Seattle residents will have the opportunity to vote on both King County Proposition Number 1, Harborview Hospital, and Seattle Proposition Number 1, concerning transit and transportation. Seattle Proposition Number 1, funding for transit and related transportation needs. To replace the $60 vehicle license fee and 0.1% sales tax and use tax that expires on December 31, 2020, Proposition 1 proposes a 0.15% sales tax and use tax for 6 years, starting in 2021 and ending in 2027. The vehicle license fee would expire. The tax revenue would be used for King County Metro services, with over 65% of stops within Seattle, Rapid Ride, transit access for low-income residents, workers, seniors, and youth, including Orca Opportunity Program K-12 students and income-eligible college students. Revenue would also be used for limited maintenance and capital improvements, mobility needs related to COVID-19, and closure of the West Seattle High Bridge. The city will issue an annual report describing how Seattle Proposition 1 revenues were used. The Seattle Transit Advisory Board will serve as the Public Oversight Committee. All Seattle voters can vote on this measure.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Futch, and I work as a Metro bus driver here in Seattle. I ask you to support transit in Seattle by voting yes on Proposition 1 this November. Seattleites count on transit. Proposition 1 continues crucial transit investments. It renews and modifies an expiring measure so we can preserve essential bus services, create affordability for riders, and address the West Seattle transportation crisis. It funds our most frequently utilized bus routes and maintains our transportation system as we work toward recovery. I witness every day how important regular bus service is for so many. 1 out of 3 of Seattle's essential workers rely on transit. These are our healthcare workers, grocery store employees, workers we're all depending on. Every day, tens of thousands of people count on transit to get to jobs, appointments, and to access services. Prop 1 keeps buses showing up for them so they can show up for Seattle. Bus service remains a vital lifeline. Prop 1 continues access programs for low-income neighbors and for public high school students, essential workers, seniors, and public housing residents. They're counting on these affordability programs now more than ever. A healthy, sustainable economic recovery relies on reliable, frequent buses. Prop 1 could generate more than 150,000 prioritized transit services hours for the next 6 years. Providing access to jobs, services, and opportunities is a critical part of getting back on track. Plus, Prop 1 supports infrastructure, improvements such as bus lanes, signal prioritization. Maximizing efficiency and reliability helps keep buses rolling so riders aren't stuck in traffic. Independent citizen oversight of Prop 1 ensures our transit dollars are spent wisely. Finally, providing mobility options as we work toward a West Seattle bridge solution helps us all stay moving. Decreased congestion also equals cleaner air for Seattleites. Please vote yes on Seattle Proposition 1.
Hi, my name is Susie Burke. I am a business and property owner in North Seattle, where I also live. I am speaking for myself and fellow citizens of Seattle who will have to pay the new taxes if Proposition 1 is passed. We hope you will vote no on these tax increases. Even the City Council discussed replacing this Seattle-only tax with a county-wide measure to support county-wide metro services. They considered making it a 4-year measure to be more accountable and equitable, but none of those changes came into this proposition. The pandemic has greatly decreased the ridership of Metro, and our empty city does not need to increase taxes for services right now. Even though routes could be changed and improvement could be made, they don't need new dollars. There are a lot of could-be promises in this tax increase, but once again, Seattle voters are being asked to give a large blank check to be used as others decide. No guarantees. Meanwhile, bus service in the city may be cut anyway because of Metro's pandemic losses. Our new tax dollars should not be used to fill their financial hole. This was admitted in City Council considerations in July. Please vote no on Seattle Proposition 1. Even members of your City Council and the Mayor thought Prop 1 far from ideal and asking for more than is needed. That 6 years is too long, and an increase in sales taxes hurts people less able to pay. They call it a regressive tax. Please vote no on Seattle Proposition number 1. Thank you.
You've just seen the video statements submitted by the King County Superior Court candidates and by representatives supporting and opposing King County Charter Amendments 1 through 7, King County Proposition number 1, and Seattle Proposition number 1. This program is a collaboration of the Seattle Ethics and Elections Commission, the Seattle Channel, and King County TV. Ballots will be mailed to all registered voters. Look for your ballot in the mail after October 14th. Ballots can be returned via U.S. mail or at a King County election secured ballot drop box. No stamp is required to mail your ballot. Ballots must be postmarked or returned to a ballot drop box by November 3rd. Drop boxes close at 8 p.m. Check with your neighborhood post office to know what their hours are. You can track the progress of your ballot online and find the location of drop boxes by visiting kingcounty.gov/elections or calling 206-296-VOTE. We'd like to hear from you about the Video Voters Guide. To comment, please call 206-684 8500 or email ethicsandelections@seattle.gov. Thank you for watching.